So why are these S-Series lenses, these S-Series Prime lenses from LUMIX so good? So I purchased some of these lenses when I first got the LUMIX S5. I purchased the 35mm, 50mm, and 85mm. And then LUMIX, thank you LUMIX, let me use the 18mm, which is fairly newer, and the 24mm. And if you're new here and want to learn more about LUMIX cameras, make sure you hit that subscribe button. So I've really liked using these S-Series Primes, and I've got a few reasons why I think they are actually a great set of lenses. And this is just a bonus one, but the price. These ones are actually pretty affordable, but that's not even one of the main reasons, but it is actually a pretty good reason. So the first reason I have why I think these are such great prime lenses for the S5, S5 II, or the other L-mount LUMIX cameras is just the speed of these lenses. At f1.8, you're going to actually get some really good depth of field if you shoot wide open. Then the focal range from 85 to 18, so you have 85, 50, 35, 24, 18, and those are all at f1.8. And so when you're shooting full frame on an L-mount camera, that's actually some really great depth of field that you'd have if you shoot at f1.8. And that might actually be a little too much if you're shooting interviews or something like that. You might want to step down to like a f3 or something a little bit slower. So the speed is really fast. Each one of these lenses at f1.8. And then secondly, I think one of my favorite things about these lenses is actually the size of these lenses. So we have an 85mm right here, and we have a 24mm right here, and they're the same size. I did modify mine a little bit and put these focus rings on by Small Rig, and they help when you go to rig it up. But that is one of the great things about these lenses, because if you build out any type of rig, you can keep your follow focus in the same spot, because the focus ring, the size of the lens, is all gonna be in the same place. So if you have to go switch out a lens real quick to get a different focal length, you know you don't have to totally change where your follow focus is going to go. You can keep the rings in the same spot, keep the follow focus in the same spot on the rail, so you know you're going to be able to change these lenses out really easily if you're rigged up. And a lot of times when I'm on the shoot, I do like rigging out my S5, or more recently the S5 II, and being able to swap these lenses out real quick on the rig makes it really easy on those particular shoots. And then to go along with the size of the lens, I mean, the build quality, they're pretty plasticky lenses, but you have, you know, metal mounts on here. And then you have nothing but an autofocus manual focus switch. And I love the fact that they're all the same filter size as well. So you have a 67mm thread on there. So you can have the same size variable ND or diffusion filters for all of your S-Series Primes. So having that consistency in the size lens you have allows you to cut down on the different filters that you need, and it makes it easier to set up quick and just start shooting. So it's a very simple setup, and you know what? That's totally fine, because you don't need a whole lot on your lens if you are doing, you know, run and gun style work, or if you're rigging it up and you don't want to switch things out all the time. And then on the 24, the 35, 50, and 85, I did put that focus ring on, like I said, but on the 18, I haven't put a focus ring on yet, because I haven't really rigged the 18mm up a whole lot. But I think in the near future, I'm probably going to put a focus ring on the 18mm just to keep all of these pretty consistent. Another reason these lenses are so great are just the electronics that you have, especially with the S5 II. The autofocus is super fast. I mean, with each one of these lenses, the autofocus works great from 18mm all the way up to 85mm. Even wide open at f1.8, the autofocus is on point. So you have great communication between the camera and the lens, and then you also have the ability to control the lens a little bit more in camera. So if you want to set the focus ring to, it is a focus by wire lens, but if you want to set it to a more linear style focus pulling, you can do that in the camera menu, and it makes it a lot easier for video shooters. That way you're not having to like crank it like this. So the electronics and the communication is great with these lenses. So there's just a few reasons why I think that these S-Series Prime lenses from LUMIX are a great investment if you are an S5 or any other L-mount video shooter. I mostly talked about video, but they're great photography lenses. But I think these S-Series Primes are a great investment for anybody who wants to shoot video, whether you're just starting shooting video with a LUMIX L-mount camera, or if you've been shooting and doing video professionally, you've been doing it for a while. I think these are great lenses, fast lenses that would be great for your setup, your camera bag, your rig, whatever you're using. I think this is a great set of primes for the Lumix cameras. So I know there's a ton of different lenses out there. Let me know your favorite lens down in the comments. We can get a conversation started down there about lenses. I would like to see what you're shooting with and the results that you're getting. So you can tag me on Instagram, and I'd love to take a look at what you're shooting with the lenses you're using, the rig you're using. And I know that the S5 II has a ton of different video settings. And if you want to know how I set up my S5 II for shooting video, you know, on my client shoots, or even just doing videos like this, check out this video that's popping up on your screen right here. That's going to have all my settings for how I shoot video on the S5 II.